Hey everybody,
Hey guys,
I'm Michael,
I'm Sam.
and this is
Sis
Synopsis. Alright, so...
Guys, it's hot
It's
here in
hot
Vegas.
and heavy. It's hot and heavy.
I think it's like 115, 116.
Yep.
Flights out in these streets are getting
Delayed,
stopped.
canceled.
And so we thought, since it's spicy out here,
Let's
keep it spicy with our episode.
Let's match the energy.
We're matching energy today.
Yeah, we're matching energy.
Mother Nature, we got you, girl. We're dialed in.
We're dialed in. So I'm assuming most of you know the name Dr. Anthony Fauci.
I do.
Yeah, I do too. That's
I do.
interesting. We both do, right?
Yeah.
Great. And if you have eyes and ears and a pulse, you know what's been going on in recent days with this individual. And I don't know about you, but I am pretty upset.
Yes. Very upset.
Yeah.
Very frustrated.
Yeah, very
annoyed,
frustrated. Annoyed, disgusted.
Disgusted.
Because I, for one, hold this individual in very high regard.
Absolutely.
Not only because of COVID, but after going down a rabbit hole of research, as we both did, really finding out what this man has done for the last 50 years.
Yep.
In our health.
Well, in his personal choice of a career.
Yeah.
And what that has brought to our world and communities across all of the U.S. and globally.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an amazing man.
Incredible. And so we thought it important to educate and actually find valid information about this person and what's going on and why, and so that it isn't just these little spurts of media that we're all forming our opinions and feelings from.
Right.
You know, let's actually look things up and read in depth what's going on and who this is.
What's happening. Yep.
Because here, first things first, why are we upset? Why?
Why
right?
are we upset?
So for those of you who don't know, he was subpoenaed to appear in front of the Senate for a hearing and testify in front of all of them because there was an investigation done by RFK Jr. and Senator Rand Paul for 8 months. They did an 8-month investigation into his COVID journey, right, in his research for COVID. And basically it centers around whether COVID was accidental or intentional, which I'm like, what?
What are we talking
What
about?
are we talking about?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I asked myself is why? You know, I mean, obviously I understand looking into things, looking into investigating.
Sure.
That's a part of research. That's a
Absolutely.
part of, preventing other diseases. Even learning things we did that we're not doing again.
Totally.
Things
we
that
thought were right, but we're actually not.
Maybe weren't the best. So this investigation, sure, I understand, but I knew that already happened. So
yes.
Why are we here?
Why are we here
again? And why is only Dr. Fauci the only person who is being targeted at this point?
Yeah. And an answer to that is, so they uncovered his diary, and they're using that as some of his entries as something that shows some discrepancies and revealing things that somehow they're twisting to make look like he intentionally let this disease out.
That's
crazy.
Crazy leg to stand on that
crazy
is
to stand on.
Not even a leg.
Yeah. So, and then I'm sure most of you know he pled the fifth under direction of his attorneys.
Yep.
He didn't want to answer any of those questions because he knows what their intentions are, and they just want to try to put him behind bars, and they're blaming him for all of the deaths from COVID, which is also crazy.
That's crazy.
That's so wild.
One person, just putting it on one person
like that. No, and there's so many factors in what led to any one person dying from COVID.
Well, and I think to make it very personal, personable, or how can you relate? Because obviously I've never been at that high of a level of a job where I'm impacting the whole world.
Sure.
However, like, let's simplify this.
Sure.
If you have ever been in charge of people, making decisions that impact all those people, that's a pretty intense job.
Yes.
And the stakes are high, and you make mistakes, you have to learn from them, you know, so I'm sure there wasn't perfection across the board.
Well, no.
But to this degree of where they're dragging him to, just doesn't even feel legal. It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And it feels very distracting from what's actually important.
Yes. My gut this whole time, when I saw all this pop up on the news, I am like, okay, y'all are deflecting and you are making people like us who like to educate ourselves go through these rabbit holes and put all this smoke and mirrors for us to not be focusing on the things that we should be in this country.
Absolutely.
And so, again, annoyed.
Yeah. Well, so we thought also then, let's dive into who Dr. Fauci is and what he's done in his career. That is, this isn't about opinions. This isn't about...
These are facts.
These are just things that he's done.
These are
in
facts.
the time that he's been in his position.
Yep.
So, for example, he was a part of the he was the director of the NIAID from 1984 to 2022. It's a very long time.
Very long time.
Very, very, very long time. And he was the chief medical advisor for the president from 2021 to 2022. And he was also awarded the Medal of Freedom by none other than George W. Bush in 2008. So again, see, party doesn't matter.
Party doesn't matter.
Clearly.
Well, it didn't before.
Thank you. Good,
Here we are.
Good hit there. So he's been a part of disease work for 50 years.
Yes.
It's a lifetime.
Dedicated
his whole life to this. Where he helped with the AIDS epidemic, TB, malaria, SARS, swine flu, West Nile, MERS, Ebola, Zika virus, and of course COVID, along with things like asthma, allergies, any autoimmune condition.
Right.
He's been a spearhead for trying to, find vaccines or trying to figure out how to handle them.
How they originate.
How do they originate?
Mutate.
How do they mutate? Exactly.
So, this is top tier work.
Yes.
That this man has been doing for the last 50 years.
And let alone, he's advised 7 U.S. presidents from Reagan all the way through Biden.
What a good number, 7.
7, we love.
Okay,
Yep.
love that.
And this is domestic and globally advising these presidents.
So not just here. Well, because this all...
Well, a pandemic means the world.
As we know, a panty. A good old panty pandemic game.
Yep. So, you have to take a second and go back and, look what this person has done. A track record matters.
Track record matters.
And so when you're throwing things out like you're a monster and you are the reason that these people have died, that doesn't make any sense when you look at this track record. That isn't true.
It isn't true.
It isn't
There's
true.
nothing true about it.
No.
And he didn't do any of that.
No.
COVID is what came into our world and
it had to be combated.
It had to be combated some way, shape, or form.
As fast as possible.
Exactly.
With what resources? With a lot of pushback.
Very much so.
We had people saying it was fake.
We had people say that it didn't even exist.
Didn't even exist. It was a scam-demic.
It was
or something like scam-demic or whatever. Something like that. Ugh. And then you had people who wouldn't wear masks. You had people who wouldn't social distance, go into spreader parties, wouldn't get the vaccination. When all of those things proved to help.
Well, I just think we go back to all of us adults. I think at this point, millennials and older, I think we all were required to have vaccines.
Oh, when we were kids.
Are you guys all okay? We are.
We're fine, yeah.
And we are okay because we had them.
Yeah.
That has protected us for so many years.
Yeah.
All this stuff that's happening now is all new, and I mean, the other piece of this is I understand when you don't understand things or there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of fear.
Yeah.
And we as humans, when we run off fear, we don't make the best decisions. You know, whether it's the freeze, fight, or flight things.
Right.
That's what these type of situations do. And nobody's wrong for them. That's just our response. So to then go in and blame somebody for doing all of this is a crazy thing to do when you know humans, people like us who are trying to listen to scientists and doctors. I mean, I feel a majority of us do. We do our part, and then the people who don't, it's like you have to know that that's a part of the reason why people were dying, because they weren't listening to that stuff. And I mean, I might get pushed back on this for that. I mean, do I agree with those people? I don't. Should you have done that? I think you should, but I'm not going to force you to.
Right.
That's still your choice, but just know, like, if you die, or if your family dies, and I was working during the pandemic. Our job,
nothing changed for you. It just got harder.
There was just chaos, and it was sad because there were so many of my patients there were a handful of them that talked to me about losing family members, and it's because they didn't feel it was real. And how that changed either their mentality or they were angry. I mean, it was just a hard time. And so to point a finger at one person is just disgusting.
Yeah. 100%. Well, you made an interesting case.
Yeah.
Or point about this that I wanted you to have the floor.
Yeah. Well, because I know that a part of what Senator Paul has been talking about is that got brought up with the diary entries was about him being famous and like this being a thing for him. And the only reason I feel Trump or Dr. Fauci even got in the spotlight the way that he did was because of Trump. And I think all of his minions that are all in the government at this point are all famous because of him. This is what he does. He wants to be famous. He wants to be the best and the greatest, and he's the best that ever lived. And all the people that he wants to put on a pedestal, as fast as he puts them there to make him look good, is as fast as he'll take them down if he doesn't agree and he doesn't like them or whatever. You know, and I think he's had a lot of heat on him, and this was an easy thing to push onto somebody else, again, deflecting from him.
100%. 100%.
Ugh.
Yep. So then we wanted to dive into, we talked about Fauci's accolades and everything that he's done.
Yeah.
Well, now we wanted to look into the people who are gunning for him and what they've done and how they've affected our country in recent years.
Yeah.
So RFK Jr. being the first person, being our Health and Human Secretary has gutted funds from the FOIA, from all the branches of all of our different health departments. So the CDC, the FDA, the NIH. And so you're taking all of this money from these organizations that take care of our health.
Right.
Just to then investigate one person.
Right.
Over something that he devoted his life to helping. Right. That to me is what a slap in the face to all of us.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
That to me is so terrible.
Well, and a part of him completely firing all leadership in the CDC.
Oh, right.
I mean, there's nobody running the CDC at this point. And I know we're going to talk about some other things, but it's look at how that has impacted us.
No, that's a perfect segue.
Go for it.
Into, so things like the measles. As if you don't already know, the measles are running rampant more than they have in 2 decades, more than 2 decades.
Right.
So in the year 2000, we, under like certain guidelines, we had domestically eliminated measles from our nation.
Which, I looked this up, the elimination, what that means is for a full 12 months, there was no positive cases.
No positive cases. Incredible.
Incredible.
And we held that status until 2019 because this idea of vaccinations potentially causing autism or whatever people are saying about vaccines on a negative side and needing to have more freedom to not get them, it's spiked, and we had an outbreak in 2019, which it was like 1,200 and something cases.
Yeah, it started out 1,200. And a lot of it had to do with people who were like traveling unvaccinated. Because
we can't control the globe in their vaccination regulations, but we can control our country, and had it under control. Right. And so then people aren't getting vaccinated and then traveling and contracting it and bringing it back. Right. And so then, so now in the present, there are over 2,300 cases. So it's doubled since 2019. And 93% of these cases are unvaccinated or unknown status, whether they have vaccine, which it's hard for me to believe that those are vaccinated people.
I mean, yeah. Right. If you're vaccinated, it's documented.
Yeah. Which then it brought us to this really interesting thing. Maintaining community herd immunity. So in order to maintain this immunity, you have to have a 95% target reached of vaccinations.
Yeah, so when you think of diseases, in order to know that you're going to have more control over the disease versus being out of control, you'd have to have 95% of people being vaccinated.
And as of now, what did we find?
We had been.
Oh yeah, we had been. That's why we were in this elimination status.
Right. Now we have dropped to 92.5%. And yes, 3% feels small. Right. But it's big enough. You have to remember these percentages matter when it comes to people and diseases that spread. The disease doesn't care. About anything. No. It wants to spread.
It doesn't care about race. No. It doesn't care about sex.
Age.
Gender. None
of that matters.
None of that matters to a disease.
And it's just, I don't...
Well, and when you look at... So, yes, you're saying 3% doesn't sound like a lot. Well, we just said... Right. We had 0 cases when we were at the target 95% vaccinations. Yep. At 92%, we're at 2,300. Right. That's... thousands. We're in the thousands. And this stuff spreads. When it multiplies, it spreads. That could turn into 20,000. Right. That could turn into 2 million.
Well, we watched it happen with COVID.
We watched it happen.
Like, you don't have to have... Like, we, at our age, don't have to have a book to read about it. We lived it, and we saw these numbers every day. Yeah. We know how these diseases work. Yeah. And measles is very aggressive.
Oh, it's so aggressive.
That's why it was so huge when we eliminated it.
Right. Well, and now our elimination status is under review, so we're probably going to lose that. Yep. If we keep going down this journey.
Direction we're going down.
Yeah. So, it really has opened up an interesting conversation on what are we focusing on when it comes to what matters in our nation right now, and how are we being misdirected? And it's getting to the point where it's so clear when we're being misdirected. Yeah. From what really is important.
At this point, we have been under this administration multiple times, right? Yeah. And so there's no confusion at this point what is being driven if you just watch, you have ears, and you educate yourself on things. Yeah. And it is
And that's perfect, because that brings me to how we want to end this, because we want to end on a high note.
Of course.
And we want to keep this more focused on Dr. Fauci and the high regarded person that he is, individual that he is.
Absolutely.
And so, speaking of education.
Yes.
What is Dr. Fauci doing now when he's not being subpoenaed? He is a professor at Georgetown School of Medicine. He's been there since 2023, after he stepped down for being the director. And he's there. Then he's a senior scholar at Georgetown's O'Neill Institute. And he's a professor at the McCourt School of Public Policy. So he's out here educating.
He's teaching, he's writing.
Giving of everything that he's done for the last 50 years. So good on you.
Pass on all your knowledge.
Yeah.
Continue to do that to our next generations, because that's what gives us hope.
And your drive, because this is one time that he's been pushed back against. This happened during the AIDS epidemic, and I'm sure it happened in other areas too, but specifically in that one, he was getting so much pushback, and he fought through that, and now people are able to live complete lives if they're positive, you know, before it was a death sentence, and now people are thriving.
You could go undetected.
And
and that's all due to his work.
Yeah.
That matters. This stuff matters. And sometimes you don't have to think so much of the present. You have to think of the future and the future generations.
What you leave behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Fauci, you have our full support.
Full support. And if you are against that,
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm going to say you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong, and I don't see any, with the education that I have researched, there's nothing you can tell me different.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, on that note, I'm Michael.
I'm Sam.
And this has been
Sis Synopsis.
Bye.
Bye, guys.